You know, what most people don't realize is that this actually isn't a fedora. This is just a standard hat. A fedora is much different. So I guess that wouldn't make me a neckbeard fedora wearing kind of guy, would it? All in all, I really like this hat. But you know what I don't like? I don't like developers attacking people on Twitter. So we're going to talk about just that in today's episode of the News You Missed.
Diana Laura was allegedly fired by Ubisoft after threatening to end PewDiePie. I gotta tell you, that's one way of ending your career. Destruction 100. How to end your career in 5 seconds. After stating enough is enough, she calls for the gaming industry to quote-unquote end this dude. Then she reinforces it with, you know exactly who you are. Diana, do you have a hitman on standby or what? She then followed it up with the demand to cut ties with him now. Now being in all caps. I got to give her credit. The tweet got quite a bit of attention, but let's go ahead and look at this for a moment. Before I go any further, I need to explain how this all kicked off. Apparently this is because PewDiePie shouted out a channel that he enjoyed that apparently was involved with some hateful things, which a lot of people have argued against this, claiming that PewDiePie didn't necessarily know about that stuff. He just liked the channel from a while ago and didn't understand what the person was actually involved in. PewDiePie's not necessarily responsible for what somebody is going to get involved in, or what they think, or the ideals that they believe in. To my knowledge, PewDiePie has apologized for this mistake, and he did acknowledge that he has made a mistake and owned up to it and moved on. But that isn't good enough for some people, which is why I'm always harping on people to be very, very careful on whom they promote, especially when you're popular. This being a prime example, this is why we have problems, and here we have a dev threatening to end PewDiePie. What timeline am I involved in? Enough is enough implies that this is too much in regards to PewDiePie shouting out a hateful, anti-Semitic YouTube channel. Apparently, this person just cannot take PewDiePie anymore.
PewDiePie made the biggest oopsie. Oh my gosh.
I wonder what they would think about iDubbbz.
I'm gay.
This person just could not tolerate this anymore. PewDiePie being at the top, doing things they just don't agree with. If PewDiePie makes bad content, does things that people don't like, then he will indeed lose his fame. There is no need to attempt to take him down. That just makes you look pathetic. Attempting to get the gaming industry's attention to quote-unquote end this dude. I really need to quote that part. End this dude. It's a pretty pathetic way of trying to sever PewDiePie's ties with people. Perhaps some of those developers actually like PewDiePie. You ever think about that? How dare they not agree with your perception of the world, Diana? And perhaps some of them don't even care. You know, it's not their obligation to judge. They don't care. They're busy coding. They're busy programming. They don't have time to sit here and run around talking about, hey, you need to sever ties with this guy because he's just a bad guy. They don't care. Imagine if all of those companies out there that do business did the same thing and refused to work with anyone they just didn't agree with. They would be broke. Gas stations don't care if you're edgy or not. They don't care if you're white, black, male, female. They care if you have money. And that is exactly what the gaming industry probably thinks as well. Why would they cut ties with the most popular YouTuber? He's got tons of money, he can promote their product, and they can get rich using PewDiePie as a vessel for promotion of their product. You seen the president? He's done quite a bit of questionable things. Yeah, he's still up there.
Make America great again.
Also, does Diana not really realize how much money that PewDiePie actually makes? The whole gaming industry cut off ties with him completely. You know that wouldn't even matter, right? I mean, fair use exists. PewDiePie could just go buy whatever he needs and then continue on like it's nothing. That's what makes this tweet, like this PSA, this public service announcement, seem so dumb. It seems more of a stunt than an actual call to action, because what action could be taken, really? So yeah, even if you had a huge amount of developers cutting ties with him, false flagging him, YouTube would stop that. They would cut it off. They would say, you can't do this stuff anymore. You need to stop. Those developers would stop doing that stuff because they have better things to spend their time on. Again, coding, working, making money, making video games, instead of trying to take down YouTube's #1 subscribed edgy boy. What does it mean to end someone, though? Well, it's definitely not something a game developer should threaten over Twitter. Even a vague idle threat is not to be used on Twitter by anyone, but certainly not a developer from a major company, which is amazingly ignorant, to be honest. Even if a person meant it in a way to be cutting ties with someone, as in ending their career, it's still a pretty pathetic stunt to try and pull off. Continuing on with another set of tweets here, it states that it's important to call out consistent shitty behavior, but again, you were not calling out his behavior, you were trying to end his career, or end him. Don't forget that, make that distinction. Which makes everything said here likely a lie, to try and explain away the initial tweet. Because looking at the initial tweet with no context whatsoever, yeah, that looks pretty bad. But these sets of tweets, they don't exactly help either. I'd really like to know the timings on these exact tweets when they were followed up by, because if they were minutes apart, you could definitely tell that they realized what they said and how quick the tweet was blowing up. Oh, snap, man, I really need to explain this real quick so that I don't get all this hate train coming my way. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever get that information. Remember, everyone excusing his actions desensitizes people to ignorance and hate. Kinda like when you threatened to end this dude. Right, Diana? Right? Oh, don't you worry. There's going to be plenty more hypocrisies to discuss. Then she tries to explain how PewDiePie does not use satire, nor is he a comedian, which is extremely subjective at best. Knock knock. Who's there? Boo! Boo-hoo! Well, you don't have to cry about it! That was a cringy knock-knock joke. Some of you might have found this to be unfunny. Yes? Comedy is subjective, and so is satire. So what you find funny, and what someone else finds funny, not the same. This point is inevitably going to be countered because PewDiePie has done some questionable things, like saying the N-word with a hard R live. So yeah, obviously. But again, he's apologized for these things, which means he's owned up to his mistakes. And Diana just doesn't like that he has not received enough repercussions, or she thinks he deserves more. You know, like how YouTube Red canceled his personal show? No, not enough repercussions at all. Not at all for his actions. Nope. She goes on to play off that the post got a lot of attention, making light and claiming she wished she had a SoundCloud to promote. By chance, would that be satire and comedy I see there? And then she adds a picture of a kitty in a box, so why? I mean, other than maybe to garner some sympathy, because people like cats. But this was probably nothing, to be honest. But why it was added here? Again, I don't know. After all of this, she locked down her Twitter, so the previous tweets were made by a public profile. It was public, this is not private information being shared. Then the Twitter was protected for some reason. Well, that is the chain of events that occurred to cause, allegedly, a Ubisoft developer to be fired, according to the Quartering.
Yo, check this out.
I didn't even go into her bio, though, which is some real hot garbage, by the way. And oh no, I'm not making fun of this person's looks, I'm not making fun of what this person enjoys, or mostly what's in this person's bio. But I am pointing out how much of a f***ing hypocrite this person is. Spreading positivity. Yeah, really, right after you try to get the gaming industry to end someone. Boy, you're really spreading positivity, ain't ya, Diana? The rest of it's just bullshit, to be honest. But the bottom of it says, thoughts and opinions are mine. Some people would say this is the saving grace, that this person should not be fired. But I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. If you work for a company and you identify yourself publicly on social media as the same person with the same exact name, same picture, you're that person that also works for a company. The company will likely have you sign an agreement to conduct yourself in a certain way online. So basically, you're fired for being an idiot online. And, well, hey, the company did just that. She got fired for being an idiot online. You know, I really can't understand it. I really cannot understand it. You work so hard trying to get to this amazing position. You're making video games. What a dream come true, and you're getting paid to do it. And then you can't stop yourself from being such an agitated, angry individual. You can't stand it. You can't take it anymore. You gotta take action. If you were to take down PewDiePie, then what? Then who's next? Who's going to replace him? Who's the ideal person that you would want in that position? You don't belong in the gaming industry if you're going to end someone's career over values you personally disagree with. Imagine going to school for years just to end your own career because you can't take somebody else being popular and making mistakes. Like and share this video. Make sure other people know I exist. That's the best way you can support me for free. But you can also support me by clicking that subscribe button. I would love to get to 1 million subscribers. I'd love to show the world that people like me exist, and we're doing good, and we're doing better than a lot of other archaic media sites that aren't so good, that aren't so nice, that don't even care about you. I care about you. I care about you, my fans, and I'm really, really glad that you're here. You make me smile. You make me happy watching my videos, commenting down below, liking and sharing them. Whenever I get a banger, whenever I get a video up to 100K, I mean, I'm on cloud 9, man. I'm so happy. So I'm very happy when you come back here and you watch my videos. So I'll see you soon with another one. Now, I've been your host, Printer Murray, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and please, be careful what you tweet.